Hey guys, in this video we will be covering how Azure Cosmos DB can be integrated with MuleSoft. So without any further delay, I will show you how we can set up our account on Azure. So for that, you need to create a sign up account on portal.azure.com. It will ask for some couple of details like your credit card. Just it will not charge you anything, but it will take around 2 rupees just for the validation purpose, just to make sure you are not a robot. It's not a machine login. It's a user defined a individual login who want to explore Azure services. So by default, it will give you around 13,800 of free credits, which need to be consumed within a 30 days of free trial version. After that, it will give around 25 free services, and the rest of the services will be on the basis of pay as you on go. So having said that, uh, you can refer some of the, I will mention the link as well, like what is the process to sign up for the portal.azure.com. So I have already created one of my account on this, so I will be logging using the same. Let me log in. So here you can see Azure Cosmos DB. So if I click on create, it will give me some options like which subscription you want to use, and what are the resource group, what is the account name. So you can fill all this up and click on review and create. Since our main emphasis is on showing the connectivity between the Cosmos DB and MuleSoft, so I will be touching very specific points in this. It is very straightforward. So once you click the default settings as well, something will come up like this. So my Cosmos DB account name is sysdb. This is my URL on 443. We will be using this in creating the configuration. Apart from that, we will be referring keys as well. So this one along with the primary key will be used in creating the connection. Okay. Having said that, we need to create the container as well. So as you can see, I have created a database name as HR, and inside that there is a collection ID of employee. So let me try to explain this. So if you click on add collection, it will give you an option to add a container. So if you are getting it for the first time, you can type maybe like I have used HR, so you can type as per your requirement. But since I will be using the existing one, so let it be uh, player. Okay, and partition key, I want it to have player ID maybe. Okay, and I will go with the defaults, and unique key will be my player ID again. If I click on OK, it will create the container inside the HR database. Okay, it is taking some time. Yep. So if I expand this, you can see this player as the new collection is being created. But as part of this use case, I will not be using this particular container, so I will be deleting this. It is going to ask me the name. It is quite similar to what we follow while deleting a Git repo. It again asks for the same name, so I will click on OK. And let me quickly show you the configuration of uh, employee container. So if you notice over here, it gives me option of new item or upload item. Upload item, maybe it will give JSON file we can upload directly over here, and it will upload the records. I will show the format of record. So this is like one of the record ID 104, and department is ID IT, employee ID and employee name, and along with that rest of the things are being populated along with the timestamp. Okay. Similarly, this is for the research, the other one, the other example. So have you noticed this is a JSON file? So you can manipulate over here and create a new record as well. If you want to delete, you have to just select this element and click on delete. That's pretty much of this Cosmos DB setup which has been required on the Azure portal. Now let's quickly jump to our MuleSoft Anypoint Studio. So, yep, this one. So I have created a new project named as Azure Cosmos Database, and I am using Dominized project for this because I want to use the same listener which is being already being configured. Okay, so to start with, we need to do some configurations in order to establish the connections. Since there is no Cosmos DB connector available as of now in Exchange, so we are going to use the native HTTP request and listener combinations. Okay, so what we have done, we have created a Java class, and I have named that class as Cosmos DB, and inside that I have created a Java file which is named as generate Cosmos DB auth token. So if we go inside the, I will share this particular piece of Java code as well. This is pretty much very standard wise. You can find several such combinations uh, within the portal .azure.com for Cosmos DB API. And there are different versions available for Java, .NET, and C Sharp. So I have taken the equivalent of Java. Reason being, most of our the entire MuleSoft integration is being based on top of Spring, right? So that's why for the best fit, we should have the Java implementation. So let me quickly walk through this particular thing. So this is the package name Cosmos DB because this is the folder or the class which we have created. After that, this package creation, I have imported uh, several Java libraries basically. So in order to import these files, we have to add some um, dependencies as well. So let me quickly show you that first. So I'm just pinpointing direct to that particular thing. So this particular dependency is being added. Okay, Azure Document DB and 212 is the latest version which I am using, and similarly, this repository is also being added. And you know like how to add the dependency, right? You have to just simply right click and manage dependencies, manage modules, and click on the plus sign, and from the exchange from the Maven, so we will use from Maven, and you can copy paste the entire content here, click on OK, and things will be done. I will be sharing this entire code on one of my GitHub repo, so you can take a look from there as well. So once these dependencies are being uploaded, the next thing will be to go through this particular Java file. So what it is doing, it is it is using a generate method which is taking verb, resource type, ID, key type, token version, and date. We will refer this particular method multiple times within our data view function as well, data view palette as well, within the transform palette exactly. Okay, so what it is doing, authorization, we are setting it null. We are converting the verb, that is verb could be post, get, delete, converting into a lowercase. After that, we are adding resource type ID and date on top of it, and we are converting it to MAC address of SHA-256 HMAC. So you can refer some of my previous video in which I have covered the different encryption or crypto or libraries. So after that, it is creating a secret key out of this particular instance which we have created, and converting it to the base 64 decoder, and a lot of things are going on. And after that, signature is being created using the encoder. So after that, authorization is being called using URL encoder, and we are passing, we are passing the key type, the token version, the signature. UTF-8 is the by default encoding which we'll be using. One more thing, we will be returning the authorization string out of it, and this particular is just to create the datetime format, and it is being used many of the times. Okay, so having said that, let's quickly jump to the Azure Cosmos database flow. So I have just drag and drop the HTTP listener and configured it with my domain HTTP listener config, and I have given the path as get auth keys. After that, I have drag and drop this transform message, and this is something important. Okay, let's try to understand this because it will be using multiple times. So first of all, we are referring that particular Cosmos DB class, and we are taking that to generate Cosmos DB auth token out of it. I'm saving this entire data into a variable Cosmos header because we will be using this thing in our next request, HTTP request. So this will be used to first set up a connection with Cosmos DB, and after that it will also be required to set up our um, first of the entry in database Cosmos DB. So post docs. So how to track it down? Let's try to understand. This key is the same as we have seen over here. Uh, Let it load. So this one 5RLS and 5RLS. So this has been the same key, and let's see this one. One moment. Let me go over here. Click this guy. Let's give this problem. I'll click on add collection. I will cancel this one. I will show you. So this is something like some sort of format like TPS. After that, the database name, and then the columns, and after that the name of the collection or the container which we have created. So this is the format. After that, what we are doing, we are sending the server date time as a string, and we are setting it to a variable server date time as payload, and the auth key is being set by sharing all these parameters. Okay, we have defined all these parameters in the above section. Now the HTTP request is being set up. I have used post as the method, and the path is same as we have defined earlier as well. Okay, and now to configure this, we have to click over here, and this is the same URL which we have seen over here in the keys. So this one 443 HTTPS, that's pretty much of it. Setting, we don't require any further thing. So I will go back over here quickly, and we will check for headers as well quickly. So it will ask for a couple of things which we have already set up in the transformer thing. Okay, so it is for authorization. So we will be setting auth key. Application JSON is the accept type. XMS version. This you can put anything, but I have used this one as a sample. After that, we need to pass the partition key. So the department will be the partition key for me, and the content type is application JSON, and the server date time. That's it. And after that, there is a simple logger. Okay. So let me quickly run this guy. I'm pausing for a second. So you can see now it is being deployed. So I will quickly go to my Postman, and this is the get auth keys 8081. I will be sending this particular format like ID 786, employee ID is the same, and employee name is Mohammed, and he will be working for department HR. Let's quickly click on send button. So now here you can see a particular JSON response is being created. So ideally the same should be available in our Cosmos DB as well. So let's quickly go over there and okay, this is always like that. I need to figure out something on this. Yeah, I will close this guy, click on employee items, will refresh it. So you can see the 786 for Mohammed. Yeah, it's coming up. So in this way, we have seen like how to establish the connection and also to upload the things. So within the logger, I have set this particular line. So what it does, one second. So this is the particular auth key which is being used for execution. Okay, so this is being used for establishing the connection, and after that the logger is printing the success. So that's the first part of it. Let's quickly dive through the rest of the operations. This one, create. So I will quickly check the operation name. It's insert. Same, almost same post will be used in the same steps. So uh, here as well it's post only, so the same method. So I just created a copy of it. So maybe we can go for the list. Okay, so the list will be list Cosmos DB is the operation name. If we go to set auth key, get verb is being used, the rest of the thing will remain same. We have to play around with the here the get method will be used, and go for the headers. So let me bring it. So accept application JSON, then the version item count maximum 10 records will be fetched, and auth key is being sent to the authorization key, and the server date time along with the content type is being sent. Okay. After that we are logging the payload. Okay. So I will be hitting this list Cosmos DB this time. I will go to the Postman. So this one I will click on send button. So three records should be there, right? If we go to here, three records, right? So first 104, 111, and the very last one 786 Mohammed, which we have just entered. So this shows this list operation is working absolutely fine. Let's try to delete something. So uh, employee I am going to delete. Auth key verb will be changed to delete. Rest of the things will remain same. Along with that, we have to supply the payload ID. That is to uniquely identify which particular ID we need to delete. Key and all the things will remain same. And here delete method will be used along with the payload ID. Let's quickly check the header. So header will be checking for all these particular things. Along with that, we have to supply the department. So that will be used as a partition key. So let's try to delete something. I will go to the delete. So 786 Muhammad from HR team will now report to somewhere else. I will click on send button. So 200 okay. It seems we are through. Let's check the console as well once. Okay. So 1 second. So let me go to the portal.azure.com and try to refresh. There should be two records only this time. Yep. So deletion is also successful. Let's see what we have in next. So query, if you want to query for a specific record, how to do that? It will be post method. Okay. And rest of the things are remaining same. Let's quickly check the header. because header is also one of the important part. Post method we will be using in headers. Let's quickly take this guy out. So here we will be sending the auth key, and that's it. Yep. So we are pretty much good on this, and let's try to hit this particular guy as well. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to Postman and will look for this is something different. Yeah, query. So this is the one of the important format in which we will be using some concept from the SQL and some standards from here as well. So shall we start from employee where employee ID is equal to 103. So parameter need to be sent in this particular format. We can also try something on sending this parameter from query params as well, but let's stick to this particular format for the time being. Let's see 103 is existing or not. So 104 triple one. So let's switch to let's switch this guy to 104. I'll click on send button. So here you can see the James from IT team is we are getting these particular details. So is it James only? Yep. So it's for James only. So in this particular way, I have showcased some of the capabilities like how we can connect from MuleSoft to Azure Cosmos DB. I know this was a pretty much lengthy video, but I tried to cover most of the operations because there is no connector available for now in for Azure Cosmos database, and I have taken a very simple use case of employee table. Uh, you can create some of the trial account on Azure and you can play around, and there are a lot of free and easy to learn guides are available like how to further explore the Cosmos DB. So I encourage you guys to further have a look on that and um, check out the different things on Azure Cloud. I hope you like this video and stay tuned for the next set of upcoming exciting videos. Thank you.